Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome back to the Hunter Call of the Wild. Thanks to the Hunter Network, we've been given an early access look to the multi-class weapon pack dropping on Tuesday, April 14th across all platforms for $5.99. We have been enjoying this pack over on my live streams here on YouTube. Every night of early access, I've been showing these beautiful weapons off on different animals. We've been trying to do some gold challenges, having a blast literally with these brand new weapons, but I was feeling like something was missing. Usually with these weapon packs, I go to the range and I show them off, compare them to weapons we already have in the similar classes. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to take them out, show them, compare them to weapons that I think they're very similar to, so you can get a feel for if you want this pack or not. If you've missed the live streams, you can go ahead and watch the VODs. There are as of right now, there are 3 from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So go ahead and go watch the VODs of my live streams. I'll be live tonight, Sunday evening. And tomorrow, Monday evening. So showing off more of these brand new weapons and other things coming in the patch, like fallow, hopefully getting a new rare fallow, and also the new racks for the moose. But let's go ahead and get into showing off these weapons compared to weapons we already have in the game. Enjoy! First up, we're going to be showing off Alice Precision Shot 25-06. It is 5 rounds, 3.5 weight units, and is class 3 to 7 with the polymer tips and 2 to 6 with the soft point. So 2 different class ranges depending on what ammunition you use. So the 25-06 polymer tips are classes 3 to 7, and they're good with penetration, effective range 200 meters. And then the 25-06 soft point bullets are 2 to 6 with 15 penetration and 21 expansion. So more expansion than the polymer tips. It also uses all of the normal scopes, and the Alice Precision Shot 25-06 has enjoyed a brilliant reputation in the sporting community for nearly a century, thanks to its iconic design featuring 2 forward-locking lugs and a non-rotating claw extractor. This bolt-action rifle provides considerable strength while maintaining comfortable recoil, a time-proven choice for hunting medium game. Now, this one is unique because the class differs depending on which bullet type you're using. So with the polymer tip, it's class 3 to 7, but with the soft point, it's class 2 to 6. So my brain, to me, even though the 25-06 does cover that class 7, to me, what I've been asked about the most is how it compares to the Frost 257, which to me, the Frost 257 is bae. It is one of my favorite. I call it the chunk because it's our only pump action rifle. Of course, the the 25-06 is a bolt action, but we're going to go ahead and let's use the soft point since it's the same class as the 257. Now, I actually finally use these first. Usually I jump right into this video, but because I've been using this, I actually really like this rifle. So this is the 25-06, and like I said, it's the soft points because that's the same class as our 257. And we ranged for 150 in the So as you can see, there's like that little bit of a wobble, but it's not terrible. The wobble's not terrible. You can get, well, I guess. Then this is me, of course, holding my breath, and we still have that wobble. My heart's over racing right now, but this is me without holding my breath. A little difficult. Definitely want to hold your breath. That's holding breath. But the wobble's not the worst. You can get some. It definitely will take some getting used to, I think. And then here is my beloved. This. Here's my beloved 257, which again is the pump action. Holding my breath. As you can see, it has more of a kickback. So not so much, it's more of a kick, of course, because it's a pump action. And this is without holding your breath. A little everywhere. Definitely want to hold your breath, but there's the pump action. And then I'm the Alice. 25-6. So if you're worried about recoil, the 25-6 is probably gonna be more of your friend than the 257. And again, I'm just using the 257 because it's my current favorite class 2 weapon. That's why I'm personally using it as the comparison. I could pull out the 243. I can do that on stream if you want, but I'm just using the weapons that I know this might be a replacement for me personally. And it's new, you know? So that was the Alice. Let's go out here. Let me show you. There's hip fired. And then whenever you do this, see how it moves whenever you're running it? That's always really cool. And then here's the read. So that was the Alice 25-06. Moving on to the next. All right, the next one is the Jonerus 17 HMR. This is a 10-round weapon with 2.5 weight units, and it is a class 1 to 2 rifle with a 17 HMR full metal jacket, which is good with penetration, effective range 125 meters, and the 17 HMR polymer tip, which is better with expansion, and its effective range is 125 meters. The Jonerus, I don't know, 17 HMR is a miniature rifle with a direct pull lock that allows quick second shots. Paired with a loose 10-round magazine, it becomes an especially comfortable rifle for hunting varmints and small predators at both short and long ranges. To compare it, we are going to compare it to the 22 mag, which is also a class 1 to 2, has the hollow point bullets. That's the only one that I have with it, but that's kind of what I've been comparing it to this time, just based on performance alone. But let's go ahead and show off the difference between 17 HMR and the 22 mag. We again are ranged for 150, and this can go to 300. However, as I have used this, I would not recommend shooting from 300 away. It gets a little winky unless you're precisely on 300. Anything below it, you're not gonna shoot it. So I would definitely, my recommendation is to get closer to a when using this weapon. This is not a long weapon at all, in my experience. So let's go ahead. Now this one is ridiculously, like, little to no recoil at all. It's kind of wild. This is, of course, me holding my breath, but my heart just went crazy, so gotta chill out for a minute. Oh, well, I forgot to see. That's what I'm talking about. As you can see, I was ranged for 300, so we're shooting high. Let's try that again. Now let's do 150. Oh, that's so much better. Holding my breath as I'm doing this. Literally no recoil whatsoever. And this is a 10 round magazine, which is fantastic. Just absolutely crazy. Like, just the lack of recoil is ridiculous. And then here's without holding my breath. Actually I think that's better than what we saw with the 25-06 for not holding breath. Now let's show you the 22 mag, which does also max at 150. Now the 22 mag, I actually really like. I've gotten really used to using it on pheasants flying away, and also on, I've done long shots on like over 300 on pine martens. It's pretty accurate. Like I said, the 17 HMR on long shots is a little winky wonky to me. But here's the 22 mag. It's also, I mean, little to no recoil. And it's also a little louder, I think. That's me holding my breath. Let's let my heart settle down. I'm not holding my breath. So, I mean, I think they're pretty comparable. Just different sounds. I think 17 HMR has a little less recoil. Yeah, like the 22 mag has a little bit of a kickback there, whereas you're not getting any of that with the 17 at all. So, and pretty much what I've seen, it does the same amount of damage to like class 2s. And maybe if you vitally shoot like a badger, they maybe don't run as far as with, they maybe die a little sooner with the 17 HMR than the 22 mag, but I think they're kind of interchangeable. Let's go out here and I'll show you what it looks like. Iron sights. They keep killing it with the iron sights. They're really nice. And then here is us loading it. Boop. Good stuff. Moving on to the next. All right, next is the Richardson 500. It is 4 rounds, class 8 to 9, and has 4.5 weight units. It has the 500 Jeffrey soft point bullet, which is best with expansion, and the 500 Jeffrey solid bullet, which is best with penetration. And as you can see, it can take any of the normal scopes. I know in the trailer we didn't see any scopes being used on these weapons, but it can take all of the normal scopes. Richardson 500 is a straight full action rifle favored by big game hunters for its decocking safety and accuracy, which is ensured by a self-centering trigger chambered for the 500 Jeffrey cartridge and designed to enable fast follow-up shots. This rifle is an excellent choice for hunting the largest game at long ranges. And this is going to be my new moose gun, 500%. It takes the Odin scope. I wasn't sure if it would, but it does. And yeah, this is going to be my new moose grinding gun. It holds 4 rounds, compared to, of course, we're used to the 300, which also holds 4 rounds if you're using like the 300 mag. But let's do a side-by-side comparison between the 500 and the 300. Here's the 500. It goes to 300 meters as well. And we, of course, are ranged to 150 for the targets here. So holding my breath, here's the 500. It is a little crazy with the recoil. We got big recoil and a wobble. So here we are without breathing, holding our breath. One more time. It definitely takes a little. Once you get into the groove, you get used to the recoil a little bit, but it's definitely gives you a bit of a kick. But I've used this on moose, and the time it takes for a moose to die with a single lung from this compared to the single lung with the 300 is so much faster. So let's show the 300 now. This is just the 300 that you get on Yukon. Obviously, your 300 AR is going to be a lot smoother and faster, but I still think the shooting rate was pretty good. So here's the 300, which also has a similar recoil, I think. Never noticed it before, but that's me holding my breath. I think it's definitely has recoil. I just don't think it's as significant as the 500. Of course, it's a bigger caliber, so it makes sense that it would be a little girthier. Me not holding my breath, by the way. So that's a 300, and let's go back. 500. Yeah, it's just. I think they're actually quite similar. They both kind of go up and wobble. So if you got used to the 500 is a little more violent, but if you got used to the 300, I think you could easily get used to the 500. Follow-up shots are okay. They're okay with it, but if you definitely place your shots well the first time, you won't have to worry about follow-up shots. So let's go out here. Let me show you. Hip shot. Oh gosh. Look at that. It's just ridiculous. Here's the, sorry for my ghillie suit, but here's our iron sights. Of course, I have the perker skill that makes it zoom in when I'm using iron, but it doesn't change whenever you range it. And then here's the reload. Look at this thing. That is girthy. Boom. Moving on to the last one. All right, our last weapon is an interesting one. It is our first break action since the drilling rifle, however many weapon packs ago. Under the shotgun tabs, we have the Cassidy combination shotgun. This has 2 rounds, and it is 3.5 weight units, and it accepts the 22 mag, both hollow point and jacketed hollow point, which we got the 22 mag last year in a weapon pack. And it also accepts 12 gauge birdshot, buckshot, and slug. So technically there is a class 1 to 2, and with the 22 mag rounds, and then with the 12 gauge you have classes 1, 2 to 5, and 4 to 8, depending on which shells you are using. Now, the Cassidy shotgun features an iconic break action weapon design chambered for 12 gauge shells. The gun lets you take aim at almost any animal at close range. If you need a clean shot on small game at longer distances, don't worry, load some 22 mag, and this over and under combination shotgun will have you covered. So it has an effective range of 1 to 8, depending on which 12 gauge shells you use. Of course, with the 12 gauge, you have your bird shot, which is 1, your buckshot, which is 2 to 5, and your slugs, which are 4 to 8, and then your 22 mag, which is class 1 to 2. And so the only thing that obviously we have that is like that, we have the 12 gauge. I'm going to show the Cacciatore and the 22 mag. Now, these are single shots. So once you shoot that round, you either have to reload or switch to the other shotgun or the other round in there. Now the 22 mag, it will go to 150 meters. Slugs will also go to 150 meters. The bird shot goes to 75. And the buckshot goes to 75. Okay, so here's this. Let's start with the 22. Here's the 22 round. And of course, on this, it takes the Hermes or the Meridian or whatever shotgun scope you use. So here's holding my breath. Very much like the 22 Magnum. Little to no recoil. Here's without holding my breath. Actually, probably the least amount of wobble. Then here's the shotgun. This is still the slug, but we'll just do 50. Just sound very much like the Cacciatore. Maybe closer to the Benelhag with how it wobbles and stuff. I'm not even holding my breath, by the way. Here's me holding my breath. So that is the 12 gauge and the 22 mag. So here's the Cacciatore, which is of course the base game. I chose. So it's a little more recoil forward. I think the Cassidy combination shotgun, I think that one is closer to the Benelhag, which we just got with Scotland. Alright, and then of course we already looked at the 22 mag compared to the 17 HMR, but here. Very similar to how it is with the Cassidy. Cassidy is a little more of a... But yeah, that is them compared. They do pretty much the same. I mean, say as you expect with them separately, they do the same. Here is 22 mag, and then actually just this shotgun, and then here's reloading the shotgun shell. Also, to switch between your ammo types, you just hold down your reload button. So I'm holding down R on PC. There you go. And then here it is out your scope. Doesn't move from ranging it. But that is them compared to weapons we already have in the game. And I think for this weapon specifically, the Cassidy, I think this will definitely be like a special trophy type of gun, or maybe you want to have the ability to shoot long range and also have 12 gauge, but you don't. You want to have that class 1 to 2 with the 22 mag, but you don't want to carry the 22 mag and you want to have a 12 gauge. So I think it's definitely like an opportunistic or trophy weapon. Like you're running and you spot like a diamond turkey or something like that. Because it's only one shot for each, you're definitely not going to be grinding, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I don't foresee myself using it. Maybe for like a great one pheasant I would, but I don't foresee myself using it specifically for anything but special trophies, if that makes sense. The 500 is going to be my new moose grinding weapon, 500%. Huh, get it, 500. The 17 HMR, I don't think I'm gonna reach for it, if I'm being honest. So I like the 22 mag. And then the 25-06, I don't think it's gonna replace the Frost 257 for me, but I have been using it a lot on fallow, and I even got a diamond mule deer down with it, and it's just a really good gun if you want an extra. And it's very interesting that you get two sets of classes, that it can go down to the class 2 whenever you use the soft point, or you can go class 3 using the polymer. So that's very interesting that the soft points actually have a purpose for this weapon, because usually they're the same. But it might be in my loadout somewhere, but I think the frost, oh, it does melt foxes, by the way. So if you're not happy with like the 2250, 22250 or the frost, and you want this pack for 500, this would be perfect for maybe even like your roe deer grind or your fox grind. It does melt foxes up to 300. I did use it on foxes, and it melted them. And it doesn't have a crazy amount of recoil as the 257 does. So yeah, I think it's worth it for the 500 and the 25-06 personally. And then everything else is, if I'm feeling spicy, I'll use the 17 HMR and the Cassidy break action. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my streams, in my live streams. I'm streaming tonight, Sunday, and tomorrow. Monday night, my normal 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. EST, maybe a little later tonight, longer tonight than 2 a.m. since I'm off tomorrow. But that's where we've been testing out these weapons extensively on different things. I'll be using the Cassidy tonight to try and get a gold of all the classes that it covers. We did that last night with the 500, the 25-06, and the 17 HMR. So definitely go back and watch my streams if you've missed them. And I hope you are as excited for this weapon pack and the new patch giving us the great one, new furs for fallow, and the upgraded moose racks. Have a good one. Goodbye.